I mean, offensive line, as you guys know, we take pride in being close knit, being tight, trusting each other, believing in one another. That's just something that's going to come with time. Obviously, when we in the facility, 5, 6 days out of the week and spending more time together, those things will, just start to bond and gel together.
Good evening, Bucks fans. We are back with another Real Bucks Talk video. We're going to talk about the Buccaneers offensive line headed into 2022 NFL season. And, looking at this offensive line, I think it's a very strong unit. And obviously, it's got some new faces, some new pieces added. And it's going to be, a very solid group, in my opinion. But let's take a look at it. Let's break it down a little bit more. Obviously, you had Donovan Smith talking there, and he discussed about how close this group is, and it's a pretty good group with guys that are familiar with each other. Obviously, some new faces, but Mark, let's get into it. I mean, what's your just overall impressions of this group, and how good can they potentially be?
I mean, first look at it, the guy I have highlighted, Aaron Stinney, he has the chance to finally take over a starting position because the big monkey in the room or big elephant in the room is Ali Marpet has retired, 28-year-old, gone, Pro Bowler, all world left guard, he's gone. Donnie's running mate's gone. Well, someone's gonna have to step in. Who's it gonna be? Is it Aaron Stinney, who's had the experience? Is it Luke Goedeke, who's a new rookie? Got his name right this time, but that left side's a big question mark. When you look at the right, yeah, we lost Capo, but in my opinion, we got an upgrade in Shaq Mason. So you have Ryan Jensen, Shaq Mason, Tristan Wirfs, another all-worldly right tackle. The whole thing is just stay healthy. Something last year they just couldn't do. It came at the wrong time, but either way, I mean the offensive line. There's going to be a lot of good competition, and to me, the best will rise to the top. And Stinney does have a early lead on it, but overall, the O line looks pretty good for Tom Brady.
Right, I would agree, and I think you start with the tackles. You look at Donovan Smith, who's coming into, I forget how long. Let's see, 2015. So he's going into, I believe it would be his eighth season or seventh season. So I mean, that's pretty impressive that he's been our left tackle since he came into the league. And there's been some criticism of him,
Yeah,
but
every year.
every year it seems like there's criticism, but he just continues to go out there and produce. And he's on the field. He's durable. He plays every game, and he's a dominant run blocker. And then he's good enough in pass protection where he goes up against the best of the best and really does his job. And I think he gets underrated a little bit because of how good the other tackle is on the other side, and Tristan Wirfs, who's just
Yeah,
been all pro worldly, probably one of the top five tackles in this league already at a very young age, and he's just a
yeah, not just for
massive.
his age. We're talking in the league. It's insane.
Right. Yeah, and he's a massive of a man, and he just manhandles people left and right. So Tristan has been really good, and hopefully he can be 100% healthy coming into the season, which it looks like he is. He's on track, and should put up again another great season. So I think with those two guys right there, you're in really good shape. I mean, anything else you want to add to those tackles? I think they've played pretty consistently.
Yeah, I mean, the tackles right now, Tristan Wirfs, everyone knows how good he is when healthy. Donovan Smith is almost always healthy, so that's almost like a non-question. Always knock on wood on that one. But Donnie, he's not just consistent in staying off the injury report. He's actually really damn good. People just don't give him benefit of the doubt because it seems like, oh, when something goes wrong, that's one finger to point at one guy, and he shouldn't get it. He should be applauded for the good things he does, not just only seen for the bad. And I mean, the plays in a game, there's 60 to 70 plays. Usually around like 99% of these plays, he does pretty damn good. If you mess up once, how you going to shoot someone in the foot for that? But let's go on the interior now. Sydney gets his shot. But again, like we're mentioning, there's going to be a big competition with Gedeke. Let's bring him up. He's a rookie, 6'5", 310. Very young guy out of Central Michigan. So they don't even have his face on ESPN over here. But going back over here, that's going to be the big competition. Jensen, you already know, is solidified there. Hainsey's going to be his backup. I mean, that's pretty much what they're priming him for. And then Shaq Mason, again, huge upgrade in my opinion. Smaller in stature, but literally the experience, the just every time you think about a good right guard, run blocker, mauler, that is what is Shaq Mason? So what is your little 2 cents on left guard and then just interior in general?
Well, the big battle coming into this training camp is going to be at left guard, and obviously it starts with Aaron Stinney going up against Luke Goedeke, and then also Robert Hainsey, who's going to get some run in that left guard competition. But I think most assume it's either going to be Stinney, who has a little bit more experience,
Mhm.
versus the rookie who already very advanced in his technique, nasty run blocker, kind of fits that mold of what the Bucs are looking for up front, and also kind of plays like Ryan Jensen, who is going to be next to him. So I think it's going to be very intriguing how fast Luke can pick up things, pick up the offense, and if he can make that jump, then I think the Bucs are going to lean towards putting him out there. But at the same time, you're like, do you really want a rookie at
Yeah.
left guard versus a guy who's got not much experience, but he's played in big games, obviously the Super Bowl, and Aaron Stinney. So maybe they start off with Stinney as they let Goedeke develop, and maybe bring him on later in the season. But it should be a very interesting battle. And I think the backups, across the board, offensive line is going to be very intriguing. But you talked about Shaq Mason. What a trade that was, getting him for a
I
fifth,
uh,
a fifth round pick, and again another Jason Light, steal from the Patriots. Just very great move all around, and he's going to bring a lot of stability on that right side. A great pass protector as far as run blocker too, and it should be a good dynamic, adding more dynamic to the run game, and we should be more flexible going right or left. So very excited about the interior.
and one more point on left guard position since it's going to be so huge going into the season. One thing Donovan Smith mentioned, I mean, the continuity, the calls, getting everything to be together, five guys working as one, so that whole O line unit can succeed. I mean, that's where Sydney does have the leg up. So don't be surprised if he does start in the beginning of the season. But again, this is good practice for us saying Gedeke could eventually take over based off of skill and just technique eventually down the road. Because it's just because you win the job in the beginning of the season doesn't mean it's not fully going on throughout the season. If you're not showing up on game day, they're going to make a change. Tom Brady's back there. I know all the media always say, "How's it fun? Is it fun being the blocker for Tom Brady?" Yeah, they don't care about that. It's just get the job done.
Right.
And then we look at the backups. So the new arrival, Fred Johnson, former Gator, 6'7", 326, massive individual. He's going to be in competition for that backup tackle spot with Josh Wells, who seems to always win it here, be that sixth offensive lineman, extra tight end, so to speak, guy on the edge, especially goal line situations. Didn't do well in the Rams game, but overall, what do you see as in the backups? How's that lining up to you? I mean, you can only automatically see Godeke's going to Godeke's going to do it, be in there. Hainsey's going to be in there. It's going to be one of these tackles, and I believe you have a big liking to lever it as well.
Right. Yeah, I think, Fred Johnson and Josh Wells obviously going to battle out for, that backup tackle job. I don't see them keeping both of them, but I mean, again, you never know. But yeah, you look at, Hainsey, he's going to be the main backup interior offensive lineman. And then Nick Leverett, I think, is going to, battle it out with the rest of the guys who are probably most likely potential practice squad players. But it should be an intriguing battle. And I like a lot of it. I think the depth overall is very good. And, the starting five, I think, has a dynamic to be a little bit more balanced than we've seen in the past, where this run game could be a lot better, where they can actually move people off the ball and also play out in space. So a lot of things to like. I think the Bucs put it together a very good group, and I think Tom Brady and company are going to be pleased. But with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to give us a like, comment what you think of the offensive line, who's going to win those battles up front at the left guard, and who's going to win the backup jobs. And overall, what do you think of this group going into the 2022 NFL season? And with that said, until the next one.